Hi friends, it's me, Nicole, and we're here to talk about the shopping for the 7-day reset. So if you're watching this video, you have already seen the video with Blake and I talking about the 7-day reset, talking about how it is amazing for cleansing your body, detoxing your body, but flooding your body with nutrition while you're cleansing and detoxing. So we're in Nature's Pantry today, and I just want to show you where some things are on from the recipes. So we're in the bulk section here at Nature's Pantry. This is one of my favorite places to shop. So on the reset, we're talking about using raw nuts and seeds. Here in the bulk section, we have raw nuts and seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds. We have our flax seeds, chia seeds. Then we also have quinoa over here as well. Then of course on top, we don't want to have any of those because that's granola with sugar, but what we do also have is other oats, oat groats, rolled oats, gluten-free oats. We have the steel cut oats. We have those buckwheat groats, barley, if that's a grain that you can have, always good in the whole form. Then of course over here, we're gonna have a lot of those beans. There's mung beans, pinto beans, kidney beans. We have the long grain rice, the wild rice. And then of course up here, nuts. So raw Spanish peanuts, raw pecans, we have some Brazil nuts, walnuts, we have just regular peanuts, pistachios, hazelnuts, almonds, and of course cashews. So when you're picking things for the reset, you definitely want to use raw nuts and seeds that don't have oil on them. And if you are using anything that has salt on it, try to make sure it's already been sprouted, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So also in the bulk section, if you just turn right around, we have all of these herbs and spices: allspice, anise, beet, Cajun, caraway, cardamom, cinnamon, cayenne, chives, Chinese 5-spice, chili peppers, dill, curry, kelp, mace, marjoram, Italian seasoning, pepper. So as you can see, there are tons of herbs and spices to choose from. And on the reset, that's what I'm encouraging you to do, is dress your food with plenty of herbs and spices, because we're not going to be using a whole bunch of sauces and things like you normally would, or salad dressings for that matter. We're going to be using herbs and spices. And these together with the flavors of the fruits and vegetables, grains, nuts, and seeds are going to taste amazing, you guys. Then over here we have a bulk herb section, so you can get herbs to make tea. There's also, basically you can do eucalyptus, isiac, elderberry, echinacea, chai, chamomile. There's also some darjeeling, some Earl Grey, catnip, black cohosh. We have all of these wonderful herbs to make tea out of. And I'm going to show you right over here in the bulk section, we have our coconut. So medium shredded coconut for the recipes, or basically the wide coconut chips. So you can use these two in your recipes on the reset. There's also some coconut flour, which is allowed on the reset. There's the oat flour, which is also allowed on the reset. Almond flour on the reset. And then right over here, still in our bulk section, we're gonna have the dates. So you're allowed to have dried fruit as long as it doesn't have sulfites and sugar, but the dates are gonna be right here because some of the recipes are calling for dates. Then there's also some raisins as well, because some of the recipes are calling for raisins. So that's literally just right here in that front of the bulk section at Nature's Pantry. And of course, nut butter. So you can get fresh ground almond butter and peanut butter, and these are definitely allowed on the reset. These almonds are no spray almonds, no chemicals. The peanuts are organic, so you don't have to worry about any pesticide residue in your nut butter. So if you can, I definitely recommend getting that fresh ground, because fresh is always best, and then you can just keep it in the fridge to keep it fresh. And moving on to produce, we have sweet potatoes and onions. Hello, Molly. Garlic. There's even black garlic. This stuff is so good in food. It makes it taste amazing. So again, remember, we're using lots of herbs and spices. So if you like onions and garlic, use onions and garlic in your food because they're only benefiting you. But the Japanese sweet potatoes, we have regular white sweet potatoes, We have regular sweet potato, purple onion, yellow onion, and then of course red potatoes, russets, and Yukon Golds. And potatoes are allowed on the reset. Also, these little fingerling potatoes are delicious. We also have spaghetti squash, butternut squash, all of the fruits. So basically, remember, any fruit or vegetable is allowed on the reset. So I have recipes on the reset that are for you guys to use, of course, but remember, they are a guideline to help you eat fresh on your own. So definitely use my recipes, but also use them as a guideline. So for instance, if there's anything on there that you don't like or you're allergic to, you're just gonna sub it for something similar. So if you can't have grapefruit, you can try oranges instead, or even apple. If you can't do squash, you could try cucumber, or things like that. So remember, just try to sub things in and out as you need to. So all the produce is definitely allowed. You'll definitely want to get some lemons and limes for your water, because we put them in water, they help us detox. Celery, beets, tomatoes, peppers, jalapenos, eggplant, beautiful locally grown mushrooms, portobellos, shiitakes, creminis, cucumbers. We have all of this broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, beets, and of course broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, beets, those are big on the reset, so definitely stock up on those. Look, we have all of this beautiful lettuce, spinach, chard, collard greens. Collard greens are here because one of the recipes does call for them. And then we have fresh herbs too: thyme, sage, parsley, tarragon, rosemary. Cilantro is usually here. It's just a popular one, so it sells out quickly. But then we have sprouts, radishes, green beans, turmeric, and ginger. And remember, these are also good to put on your food, but also to make tea with during the reset. Bananas, all right here. Coming over here, avocados, apples, more fresh herbs, tomatoes. There's even some melons, you guys. So remember, any fruit or vegetable is a yes for the reset, as long as it is good for you. And now we're gonna move on to some other things on the reset. So the Who chocolate, I say you can have this on the reset, but right now, Nature's Pantry has been out of the date sweetened chips just because it's in high demand. So Nature's Pantry is not the only one out of them, but if you can find date sweetened chocolate chips, definitely use those because they are reset friendly. And we'll go into the baking section so I can show you guys that as well. So normally those date sweetened chocolate chips are going to be right here, but right now you could also choose to use the coconut sugar sweetened chocolate chips, because on the reset we're staying away from everything processed box package, but we are allowed a little bit of chocolate, and this is only sweetened with coconut sugar, so it is reset friendly. And then of course we have nibs for recipes, powder. There's more powders here. You can use the vanilla extracts if you want to. You can also use whole leaf stevia to sweeten things if you want. And of course, pure maple syrup or raw honey is good as well. And then also in this baking section, we have all of these flours. So almond flour, buckwheat flour, those simple flours you can use in your recipes to create cookies, muffins, waffles, any of those things. And then moving on, because it is a plant-based reset, you might be using coconut oil instead of butter. So here is all of this amazing coconut oil. I really do like the Nutiva brand and the Dr. Bronner's brand, but also I do call for coconut butter in some of the recipes. Here is the coconut butter. Avocado oil and olive oil, those are going to be the top ones for cooking. And remember, avocado oil is for higher heat cooking, olive oil is very low heat cooking. Coconut oil you can do high heat, or you can put it on your waffles or your muffins after they are already cooked. Lentil tempeh, so for anybody who doesn't do tofu and needs more protein, this is amazing stuff. So it's black bean and sunflower seed tempeh, chickpea and quinoa, or green lentil. And those are all really good protein sources that are allowed on the reset with any vegetables or any tacos, so lunch, dinner, breakfast even. And then let's see, moving on over here, also these honey mamas are a nice little treat on the reset. So if you don't have time to make yourself a dessert and you're really wanting something, these are just coconut oil, honey, and then whichever flavor, and those are allowed on the reset. Of course, just one a day because it is a sweet treat. There's some tofu down here and some tempeh, which are also allowed on the reset for a protein source. We have some sauerkraut and fermented pickles. So if you're gonna do sauerkraut or pickles, make sure it's fermented. I love this Wild Brine brand or the Bubby's brand for that, because those are also allowed on the reset as well. Coming into this aisle here, Wild Atlantic Dulce. You can put that in your smoothies or sprinkle it on food for extra detoxification. And then there's some Dulce flakes there, so you could choose these ones or those ones. You could also choose the seaweed wraps to wrap veggies in if you like seaweed. And then of course there is a little bit more tofu here that is shelf stable. So if you're camping or something and you need something shelf stable, that tofu is a good option for you. And then moving on over here for coconut milk. I'm gonna show you actually a different coconut milk, but if we come over here, we had a lot of grains in the bulk section, but here we also have some already packaged up for you. So there's brown rice, hemp hearts, quinoa, pinto beans, lentils, all right here, some rice. So keep that in mind. Those are reset friendly too if you wanted those in the package. If you if you need to make some tomato-based sauces on the reset, I would recommend that you try to make it out of your own fresh tomatoes, but in a pinch, a can of tomatoes would be allowed as long as there's no sugar in it. So we see this is just diced tomatoes and juice and tomato paste. So this is fine on the reset, but remember, fresh is always best, so just use canned things if you're in a hurry and you don't have time. But literally, to make your own tomato sauce, if you just put on a medium boil about 6 large tomatoes, cut them up, add thyme, oregano, basil, a tiny bit of olive oil, and some salt, you literally have your own tomato sauce, and you can put that on zucchini noodles or cauliflower rice or literally anything you want to. So keeping that in mind, also if you're wanting cheese, the best vegan cheese is going to be this brand here, Miyoko's, and I really do like the mozzarella, and this is really clean ingredients. So this brand in particular is reset friendly, but unfortunately no other cheeses are going to be allowed. So if you're wanting some cheese on the reset, it's going to be this Miyoko's brand, or you can use avocado instead. Now, if you're needing something crunchy on a salad, Mary's Gone crackers are allowed because they're literally just brown rice, quinoa, flax, sesame, garlic, rosemary. There's nothing crazy in these, so Mary's crackers are definitely allowed on the reset, but no other crackers, okay? Or croutons for that matter. If you're needing any vegetable broth, we have a lot of options to choose from. I love bone broth, but unfortunately it is an animal product, so it's not allowed on the reset, but after the reset, drink all you want because it's amazing for gut health. And then when we come over to these boxed milks, you guys, the only one that's reset friendly is going to be this coconut milk because it's just coconut and water. So it's this red box Thai Kitchen brand. If coconut is not your thing, don't worry, you can also have almond milk. It's going to be this Malk or this Three Trees brand because it's just almonds and water, nothing funky in there. So those are the reset friendly milks that we're talking about. And also, nope, they did not change it. Oh yes, here we go. Khalifa Farms, just almonds and water, but make sure it's the organic one. And there's nothing funky in there. And then moving on, rice cakes. So you can do these brown rice cakes here, or these ones here. This is just brown rice and water, and sea salt, so those are a reset friendly snack as well. And let's see, what else do we have here that I need to show you? Bear with me just a moment, you guys. Oh yeah, protein powders and things like that. So let's come on over here to our protein powders. Oh, and the tongue scrapers. So if you guys are curious, these are tongue scrapers. They're right here on the bottom shelf. When we wake up in the morning, if we have that film on our tongue, even if we don't, we want to scrape the tongue, and you will be able to get stuff off. But after sleeping especially, there's things on our tongue, and we just want to scrape off that bacteria in the morning and then have our lemon water. So tongue cleaners are right there. Protein powders, mushroom powders, that sort of thing are going to be right here. So if you do like mushrooms and you want to try mushroom cocoa instead of coffee, that would be a really good idea on the reset. The Matterhorn mushroom cocoa is going to be good. This 4-Sigmatic mushroom blend is good for you. Basically, any of these mushroom blends are going to be good. The Sun Warrior protein is good because it's plant-based and we have a lot of protein in here. This green one is just the fermented brown rice and vanilla and stevia. The blue one is gonna have a few more things in it, like pea protein, hemp seed, and goji berry. So just keep that in mind. The green one's just a little simpler ingredients. Blue one is still really good. It just has a few more things in it. So for protein powder on the reset, I definitely recommend Sun Warrior or even the 4-Sigmatic that has the mushrooms in it. So 4-Sigmatic or Sun Warrior, or you can order Purium from me. Let me know if you're wanting that and I'll give you the information to order it on my superfood store. But if you're just wanting to get something quick at Nature's Pantry, Sun Warrior, 4-Sigmatic, only ones allowed on the reset, okay? Other than Purium. And then, of course, let's see, the hemp protein is also another one right here on the bottom. So if you want something super simple and you like hemp, that's another good one to do for the reset. And then really quickly, let me just show you guys a couple other things over here. So frozen fruits and vegetables are definitely okay to use. Just make sure they don't have a bunch of oil in them. But for instance, this shelled edamame is a really nice addition to a casserole on the reset. And I love edamame because it also has 11 grams of protein per serving. So basically a half of a cup of this has 11 grams of protein. That is amazing. And on the reset, we want to get as much plant protein as we can. So paying attention to those green vegetables that have protein, like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. And then of course, just making sure that if you are getting something in a box, a can, or a package, it's just super simple ingredients, clean ingredients. And if you're not sure, please call or text me. Peas also are another good thing to have frozen because they are also high in protein. There's 4 grams in half of a cup of peas. So if you add a whole cup of peas, that's 8 grams of protein. Plus leafy greens are gonna have about 5 grams of protein depending on which ones you choose per cup. So keep that in mind also. And then here is something else in Nature's Pantry that is friendly on the reset. So you see this little raw cake right here. Again, you're allowed desserts on the reset, but if you don't have time to make it, they usually have a mango lime or a chocolate one. They're just out of them at the moment, but those are definitely reset friendly. The coffee one, that one would be probably a no just because of the coffee that's in it, but I'm not going to tell you not to drink coffee. If you are a coffee drinker, I would tell you try to wean yourself off, and you can totally try green tea instead. Matcha, you might actually notice that you have more mental clarity and more energy. So try some green tea if you're a coffee drinker, or even go to like this chocolate Peru on the Numi or the breakfast blend. A black tea instead of coffee might be really beneficial for you, and you might notice more energy. And if you're a person who likes to put creamer in your coffee, you can totally just use coconut or almond milk and a little maple syrup instead of sugar, and then hopefully that will kind of give you the same warm, comfy feeling in the morning. But then we have all of these other herbal teas, which you know teas are amazing and they are definitely a must on the reset. So any of these herbal teas, spearmint, peppermint, lemon ginger, dandelion, which dandelion is great for liver and gallbladder function. So definitely drink some dandelion tea on the reset if you can. Rose hips, hibiscus, and raspberry leaf are all great for supporting hormones, ladies. Then, of course, we have some throat coat teas, which are great for not only coating our throat, but our whole digestive system. And they can be beneficial while we're detoxing. So they don't allow our body to let us absorb toxins because they have things like marshmallow roots, slippery elm in them. And when we're drinking those, our body's not able to absorb toxins. They help get them out. So having a throat coat tea is going to be really good. Everyday detox tea is going to be really good. Any of these herbal teas are going to be great. I really do like the organic India brand and the traditional medicinals, and of course the Numi brand. Choice is good too. It's organic. So just get a whole bunch of teas and experiment with them. Drinking them all day long, honestly, is going to be really beneficial, help you with hydration, and all of the herbs help support our body as well. So anyways, that is pretty much everything on the reset. Oh, let me show you one more thing. Hello, Sandy. Coconut aminos. So we're back in the Asian aisle. Coconut aminos here, or even Bragg's liquid aminos. Great for making sauces, seasonings, that sort of thing. Also coconut yogurt, making sauces, seasonings, that sort of thing. I really love this Harmless Harvest brand that's plain, but you can also use the plain cashew brand or the plain almond brand as well. Here, almond, cashew, or coconut. And then of course, the only dairy that is allowed on the reset is going to be the yogurt Marilyn makes at the juice bar, the one with the El Rootery culture in it. So you can have the yogurt that Marilyn makes from the juice bar too, and that literally is the only dairy product that is allowed on the reset, and it's because of the culture in it, and it eats the lactase enzyme. Okay, what else really quick? The green drinks, last thing I have to show you. So back in the protein powder aisle, we have all of these amazing greens. Green 85 by Tim James, Super Greens by Global Healing. Those are going to be my top two choices here, besides of course Purium. I love these barley greens. This is one of my favorites. Dr. Ox is going to be a good brand too. So when choosing greens, you kind of just have to experiment and pick one, and then you'll decide if you like it or not. And if you don't, put it in your smoothie so you can use it up and then choose a different one next time. But if you also are interested in other greens or like the advanced supplements like the Appleberry Power Shake, I can give you the information to order that online from Purium, and you'll save some money that way. All right. I think we have pretty much covered everything. But again, if you guys have questions, most of you have my cell phone number. Always text or call me. And if you're not sure, then, or if you don't have my number, then definitely get it from Blake or from Nature's Pantry so that I can support you on the reset. So if you decide to embark on this journey, I definitely want to know. I want to know when you're starting so that I can help hold you accountable, and I can be there if any questions come up. Because sometimes when we're detoxing, we can have adverse reactions or just constipation because we're detoxing so much. And if that's happening to you, I want to be able to support you and help you and give you some recommendations. So always reach out and let me know when you're starting. All right, you guys, I'm so happy that you're here and you're deciding to take your health into your own hands. And that is all for now. I know it was a lot of information in a little time. So again, no question is a stupid question. Always reach out. Have a wonderful day and happy healing.